Hello guys, and welcome back to a new Girls Frontline 2 video. As you know, Lainie just dropped, and I'm going to break down her kit, where she sits in the meta right now, her best teammates, and whether she's actually worth your pulls. Starting with her kit, Lainie is essentially a hybrid DPS support unit, built around consistent damage and utility rather than burst. Her core mechanic revolves around applying debuffs and then capitalizing on them for bonus effects. A lot of her damage ramps up when enemies are already affected by status conditions, which makes her feel much stronger in longer fights, rather than quick clears. Her basic skill is pretty straightforward, dealing single target damage, but it has synergy with her passive by either applying or benefiting from debuffs. Her skill ability is where things start to get interesting. She can apply a strong debuff, usually something like defense down or a vulnerability type effect, which not only boosts her own damage but also amplifies your team's overall output. Then, her ultimate really ties everything together. It's typically an AoE or enhanced attack that scales based on how many debuffs are active on enemies. So the more setup you have, the harder it hits. This makes her incredibly rewarding if you're playing around her properly, but a bit underwhelming if you just throw her into a random team without synergy. Now, in terms of meta placement, Lainie is solid, but she's not completely broken. She sits somewhere in that high A tier to low S tier range, depending on the content. In longer PvE fights, bossing, and more tactical modes, she performs really well because she has time to stack value. But in fast-paced content where you just want immediate burst, she can feel a bit slower compared to top-tier nukers. For PvP, she's more niche. She can work in debuff-focused comps, but she's not a must-have there, mainly because PvP tends to favor faster, more explosive units. When it comes to teammates, Lainie really shines in teams that can consistently apply debuffs. So any unit that brings defense, shred, burn, shock, or other status effects is going to pair extremely well with her. Characters that can act frequently or apply AoE debuffs are especially valuable because they help her ramp much faster. She also benefits a lot from supports, who can extend debuffs or increase damage taken, since that directly feeds into her scaling. So, if you already have a debuff-heavy roster, her value goes up significantly. Now, the big question, is she worth pulling? If you're a newer player or you're missing strong DPS options, she's a good pickup, but not a must-pull. She requires some setup and team building, so she's not the most beginner-friendly carry. However, if you already have a solid roster and you enjoy more tactical, synergy-based gameplay, she's actually a really fun and rewarding unit to invest in. She scales well with better teams and will age better than some pure DPS units because of her utility. As for her signature weapon, it's good, but not mandatory. It usually enhances her debuff interactions or boosts her damage against affected targets, which is obviously perfect for her kit. That said, the gap between her signature and strong free or standard options isn't massive, so unless you're planning to main her or min-max your account, you can safely skip it. Overall, Lainie is a strong, flexible unit that rewards smart team building. Not a game-breaking must-pull, but definitely a valuable addition if you like her playstyle. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.